He's come down low now. He's in line with the bottom of the sand on the right current.
Coming. The Taupo area is located right in the centre of the North Island of New Zealand. A lot of it is born out of volcanism processes that have been going on here for millions of years. The last eruption here was the largest eruption ever to be recorded by man. It was recorded in Rome and in China about 2,000 years ago. The landscape in general around the North Island of New Zealand is a lot more rolling as compared to the South Island is more dramatic. It's flat and then it's straight up, whereas the North Island is a little bit more diverse. So basically we have the lake at the low point in the Taupo area, and then we've got numerous rivers and streams that flow down out of the volcanoes, out of the mountain ranges and down into the lake, and that's what creates the ideal conditions for trout in this area.
Just watch out, because there'll be one up in here as well.
Yeah.
You see where I'm pointing at there?
Oh yeah.
So you got the stick and then beyond that. That's a brownie, isn't it? Got him.
Yeah.
Got him. What's the rate one? Simon. This is a proper fish.
Oh.
He's coming round, Simon. He's coming round.
Yeah.
And again. There he is.
Yeah.
Simon, there he is. Oh, right.
The autumn time in the Taupo district presents lots of different opportunities. We're not in the middle of dry fly season, we're not in the middle of spawning season. It changes a little bit every year. There's still plenty of opportunity to have a shot with the dry. There's also an opportunity for the nymph as well, and also with that nymphing, a lot of the time you're sight nymphing. Tributaries into the lake is a numbers game, those backcountry waters is a patience game.
You see this white sand patch?
Yeah.
He's just in front of that, but I've lost him now. He'll come back round, Now I'm in no man's land. Oh, got him.
Yeah.
Just saw him come over and eat and then swipe back in, so I struck on the movement rather than on the indicator. Try to get its head up. It's a good one. Oh, did it eat that pinpoint?
Eat the top one, yeah. I think I might have the other one in the net.
Check that, you see next to that pale rock?
To be in a position with a guide and a single angler in New Zealand is pretty cool.
Yeah, get that mended now, lovely, perfect.
A lot of it is precision fishing, especially when we've got situations where the guide can't stand beside the angler, to look into water. You've got glare to contend with.
Much higher than you think, just put one in there.
For the guide to be able to get above and actually have a really good line of communication about fly placement, it helps. It helps big time, and obviously the better the angler, the easier that conversation can take place. Oh, proper one.
Yeah, get his head up when you can. Further closer to you, it's too far wide, there's too much current.
This is a bigger fish. Right in the tree.
Rod right, he's gone. He's gone. Over me, over me. He's gone, we're after him.
Caught it on the rocks. That was a good fish too.
Yeah, they're proper.
That was a big fish.
Proper, what up, mate?
Couldn't stop him.
Yeah, quality
It's
on
just
there.
that line wrapped on the rock, otherwise
Yeah.
we would have been okay.
That was good, that might have hit 6.5, huh?
That was a fat fish. I used to come out here when I was 9 or 10,
Yeah.
maybe 9. We used to bring people out here hunting, and I did a lot of horseback riding out here.
Oh, really?
So day 2, we've got a pretty special day. We've got access into Māori land, or iwi land, situated right up in the high plateaus of the central North Island. And funnily enough, we will be actually driving through an old sheep station which has a little lake on it, and it's actually the first place that brown trout were liberated into New Zealand in about 1883. You go through a whole lot of farmland, you climb up, and then you're into that tussock. You know, you've four-wheel drive's engaged, and from there on it's a bit of an adventure to get in there. Tom's been on the property now for I think 17 years. He was saying the other day, and he's hugely involved in tourism, but also within Maoridom in terms of looking after younger people. So in Māori that would be rangatahi. So educating, getting young kids out into the environment, getting them involved with predator control, protecting the environment, because at the end of the day we'll all pass on and it'll be the next generation to take it over. So installing those skills when they're young and reteaching them some of the traditional Māori skills when it comes to food gathering, when it comes to edible plants, harvesting eel out of the river, and those old ways that traditionally that's how Māori communicated. They didn't have a written language until the English turned up, and so everything has always been orally passed down through the generations.
So welcome back to the Ripia. So this patch of the Ripia flows through a parcel of land called Wirumurahui. The big responsibility for me myself as well as hosting people is to look after the place. And that water, as you know, the water's a big part of it, eh, bro?
Exactly.
You know, how we look after it, the pressure or the lack of.
Yeah.
You know, how we take care of the place and not to put too much pressure in on not only the fish but into the systems as well. So everything's runs its natural rhythm. You know, everything to us has a kaupapa attached to it, and it's about how we care for it. So manaki tia te whenua, mana koe e manaki. So if we look after the land, it looks after us. Yeah. As you can see, she's a lovely, delicate bit of water to fish in and that, and we got lucky with the weather too. Look, there's another fish just here.
Yeah.
That's a beauty.
Jeez.
Yeah, look at him. But this used to be a great little hole for a hinaki.
I caught my first brown trout
in this pool. Was it?
Yeah.
Wow, cool, bro.
Like a spinning rod years ago when I was probably 7 or 8 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and one of the other reasons why it's particularly special for me, I did spend a lot of time out there when I was young, and it's a place where I caught my first brown trout years and years ago, and it's just a spectacular landscape, beautiful river, and brings back a lot of memories, and hopefully today we're going to go and make some more.
See these little white rocks here? A metre up and a foot right. There's a unit in there. Perfect. Coming over. Strike, he ate the drive. Alright, got all the time in the world.
Yes.
Right, got it. Nice work, Simon.
Gorgeous fish.
Beautiful fish. See just behind that to the right, that big rock just below it. Is there one in that rock complex? We can go big or dry on this, Simon.
Yeah.
You just put a stem on or something, you know? Fish still there?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it, okay. Oh, that was him. A beautiful fish. Just really good condition this year. They've obviously had a lot of good food up here.
Yeah. It's not one sitting up in the next pocket above that big sort of flat rock.
Below the rock, or
No, that white flat rock in the middle, just above it.
That's spooked.
Every photo, every video you see of fishing in New Zealand, you're always going to see the best of it. You know, you're not going to see the frustration as much, but the fish don't get big by being dumb. You know, and especially in the rivers with resident fish, they're cagey, man. As you were saying, they don't even, in times when we were fishing, they're not even seeing the line, they're hearing the line on the water.
Did I spook him on the first cast?
No, he's still sitting there.
Yeah, but it's dead still now.
Yeah.
What happened there?
The drift, you know, if that fly is moving nymph at a slightly different speed than the water, it's pulling on the set, it's going to spook him. You know, it's frustrating, but again, it just comes back to your skill level and concentrating on placement and then really getting that drift right. You're going to spook fish. You can't get too frustrated, as frustrating as it is, but because it is just the reality. Yeah. Socks are high.
I just can't believe you guys are using Velcro gravel guards. I mean, I haven't seen.
What do you mean?
I just haven't seen them in ages. Seriously?
Yeah, mate, I live by these. It's an extra layer of warmth.
It's amazing.
So Ollie came to us about 5 years ago. So we took Ollie in as a stray from Kenya.
There's two right next to each other out there.
He's grown up from a very young age in the tourism business, and he's a bit of a likeable rogue, so really like to, we would say in New Zealand, winding each other up. You know, it's having a good time, it's making a joke, but at the same time you're both trying to outdo each other.
Got that! I swear every time I pick the rod up, the wind comes. Simon, I think we've got to target this fish. It's staring me right in the face here. Right here. Oh no! Fish. Oh. Just so deep, Simon. Well done, Simon. I'm looking forward to Simon's bloopers coming through.
Within the scope that we operate our business in, which is the tributaries of the lake, the backcountry water, we've got access to probably about 50 different rivers and streams. Coming down here and expecting to just fish your 5-weight in a single, 30-foot cast the whole time is not going to work. So I spent 30 years as a deer hunting guide, and people would fly all the way from America and not sight their rifles in or practice their shooting before they arrive. Get flustered on the first animal. And it's the same with fly fishing. If you're going to come down this way, get on the back lawn and really get to know your fly rod and your placement, because it's going to make a huge difference. You spend a lot of money coming down to New Zealand, spend some time on yourself and your fishing technique.